3 live from WLVS Radio. And yep, it's a little different tonight. You don't see normal co-host ShidaP and Black GOP. He done got a little bit lighter and lost the shades for a little while. But you know how we roll. We interchangeable. We know we make moves. So sometimes we might have some folks out politicking, doing some other things. So they had a meeting. They're on their way. So don't fret. Black GOP and ShidaP will be here soon. Stoney, how are you doing tonight? Let the folks know where they can find you and what you really about.
Hola. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Your boy Stoner Sowell, man. A host of Stoner for the People, man. Used to be at Fridays 9 o'clock, but we working on having season 2 coming up. Other than that, you can just find me hanging around. WLVS. Come, say hi.
That's right. That's how we roll. True Radio, WLVS. We're all the family here. Sometimes folks got a feeling. You might catch me on his show. You might. Who knows what might happen. So always stay tuned. But we have a lot to talk about tonight. Black GOP will be here soon. We're definitely going to get in some politics with this government shutdown and all of this fronting and stancing from the Democrats, from Trump. Oh, believe me, I'm going to put my political hat on tonight. We definitely going to talk about some things.
Hey, is America great yet?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't trying to go into politics already, but
I'm just
I mean,
sorry,
America,
my fault.
In my opinion, America has never been great. It's always been better than other countries, and unfortunately, because some of the choices this country has made, other countries have caught up now, and now this country wants to blame other people of different colors that they're the reason for the downfall of this country, but they don't want to look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, we made some bad choices. Let's take a step back and figure out what's what. They're too proud and too political.
The hardest thing to do is to look yourself in the face and be like, damn, I fucked up.
Exactly. When you point the finger at somebody else, you got three fingers pointing back at you.
Hey.
But, you know, we're getting to the politics a little bit later on. We're going to delve into some sports because, you know, that's really where my hat is. You know, I do the politics, but sports is my bread and butter. So we're going to get into this past weekend's AFC and NFC Championship games that was filled with controversial calls. We spoke about it on Monday night on Sports on the Hill podcast in some detail, shameless plug, with Paul the Boxing Guy as we broke down the Manny Pacquiao fight. You can always go check that out on my YouTube channel, Carol Porter III. That's 3 eyes, not the number 3. Another shameless plug because you know I'm the king of self-promotion. I got to do it. But getting back to the nitty-gritty of what we really here for, first we're going to talk about the Rams-Saints NFC Championship game, which was a great game, which was unfortunately marred by a horrible missed call at the crucial time of the game. Now, granted, there were...
Missed? Like he was looking over there, my bad, missed. It's 2 referees sitting right
there.
And it happened in the middle of both of them, and ain't nobody say nothing.
Bruh.
We missed it, though. All right, I'm going to sit over. I'm a co-host.
Nah, you good. You going where I've been going for the past week. I normally never say the refs, team got robbed, or I put the game on the ref. But in situational football, no matter what the plays, the roughing the passer that got missed before, or the phantom call, in that situation, 1 timeout left, Saints up by 3, they make that call. The Rams do not get the ball back to get a chance to get that field goal to force overtime. Everybody can say what they want, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about this situation with the New Orleans lawyer filing a lawsuit against the NFL for this obscure rule that if some type of craziness happens that changes the outcome of a game, they're going to overturn it or make them play it again.
So what's crazy? 2 referees did not call a call. What's crazy? A blimp didn't fall from the sky. Like Michael Jackson didn't moonwalk across the jump. Like, nah, man. I'm not hearing it. Like, what happened? Here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I don't know how many people y'all video game players, right? But in NFL Blitz, you can make that hit, and that's what happens. No one says anything. So I guess we were playing NFL Blitz that day.
Yeah, it was kind of blatant because it was actually a helmet-to-helmet hit and a pass interference, and I just
all wrapped up in one.
And I just checked I didn't listen to the post game, but I checked out the cornerback that actually made the hit that should have been called.
Word.
And this dude was like, yeah, I didn't even turn my head. I just wanted to hit him to make sure he didn't catch it because he wasn't going to catch it on me. And then they actually showed him the footage of the play, and he was like, yeah, that was a penalty. I don't know how they didn't call it.
Yeah.
Even the player admitted it, and then the fact that the NFL...
So did you hear that I don't want to get this wrong. I'm going to get it wrong anyway. I think the senior official, whatever, in the front office called and was like, apologized to
said they missed it
Sean,
right after the game. Right after the game. See, normally they do it on Tuesdays during the regular season. They send you the letter, we missed the call, sorry. What does that do for the coach? What does that do for the team? It does nothing but still put them on that bus to go home.
Okay, so we was talking about like that lawsuit you was talking about a minute ago, right? And you said that in that lawsuit there's something about they could replay the game.
Yeah.
There's no way that game can be replayed because the morale is done. If you bring back the players who lost the game, they got a chance to win it and go on, but do they really want to play? And then you on the other side, you got the team that won. We ain't trying to give up our championship game because y'all fucked up.
Just the whole thought process that they're going to reprint tickets, get people to buy them, get the TV,
could you make
all
the
that
same
stuff.
sales again?
Bruh. Oh, they'll definitely get the sales. You know,
You think
people
so?
going.
Because of the controversy.
Exactly.
True.
That joint will sell out like WrestleMania. Man. That'll be done in like 10 minutes. But I mean, other than that, it was a good game. It was an entertaining game, except for those controversial calls. The Rams going forward. You know, you have the narrative of, like I said, I'm not even going to get into that because that's for next week's show. I'm not even going to get into the details of what we're going to talk about. Let's get to the Patriots-Chiefs game, which was another great game.
Mr. NFL.
Was another great game. But it was some controversial calls in this game also. They weren't as bad as in this Rams-Saints game, but there were some questionable things going on. I'm a Tom Brady fan. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm not a New England Patriots fan, but I'm a fan of Brady. I'm a fan of Belichick because I got respect for him. Folks can say they cheated and all this and that. I dispelled that rumor, all of that stuff on last week. You
dispelled that rumor?
Yeah. Oh, I did. Okay, I guess I got to go through it again.
They got him on tape, bro.
The deflate gate. How did that stop LeGarrette Blount from running for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game?
What you mean? That's a running back. I can't throw a flat football.
But that's what I'm saying. They're saying the ball being flat, but that was a game that was cold with snow that they didn't even throw the ball. They were running the ball. So that excuse is bogus. The Spygate.
Yeah, Spygate. Give me that one.
If you go to NFL 22 on NFL.com, you get that same practice footage if you pay $15.99 for it.
Of course, after they aired on ESPN News 459, of course now you can get it online.
But if we can get it, how is it a problem? And then
could we get it before it aired? Did we know about it before your coach?
You can get a live stream of some practices for real.
You can get a live stream.
You can get a live stream of some practices for real.
Stop lying,
bro. I've been writing.
That's a whole lie.
Bro, we can go on NFL.com and I'll show you because I paid for the service.
Belichick's sitting there right now.
I mean,
got you,
the Spygate. You have rules that don't get enforced, like to stick them on the gloves with the wide receivers. They still use it. That's supposed to be against the rules. Nobody says nothing.
So
people choose to hate the Patriots because they're success, and when they give them a reason to say, oh, they're not that good because they cheated.
You're a Patriots fan. Like, they not that good because they cheated. What you mean?
I respect their franchise, the way they're run.
Their franchise.
The way
you like Robert Kraft. That's what you like.
I like the way he runs it. He doesn't bow, just kind of like the Steelers. They don't bow to these athletes and say, get a contract and 2 years later because they had a good season. Oh, I want to renegotiate. Okay, if you have a bad season, you're going to want to negotiate too? Nah, so it got to go both ways, and they stand pat. And they don't like with Le'Veon Bell and Pittsburgh, and now Antonio Brown talking about he want to roll. If they want to roll, Pittsburgh's like, all right, see you.
Okay, right.
So I like the way they run it.
Okay, so that's the athletic side of these franchises. I look at the things from the outside. Okay. Like Tom Brady with the Deflategate. You were supposed to be suspended 7 games. They gave you 4. Like, that's a slap on the wrist. And then, okay, let's jump over to the other example you gave, the Patriots. Ben Roethlisberger was accused of, I don't know if he wasn't locked up because he's still playing football. Accused of rape. Organization didn't do nothing about it. NFL didn't do nothing about it. These golden boys that quarterbacks in the NFL, there ain't nothing gonna happen to them. So I look at it from the outside, like, all right, yeah, you're a great athlete. Same thing with a college player. Like, yeah, you a great athlete, but your character, where your character?
Oh, definitely. See, that's a whole nother conversation. We can do a Facebook Live about that, the politics in sports and the double standards of who gets away with what. Oh, we definitely can rapid taste and drop something on that.
Because I wonder if, like, I'll use the golden boy again. I wonder if Tom Brady would have punched Giselle in the face on the elevator, right? On tape, right? Would he be suspended? He just wanna right on his Facebook live.
Oh
like,
man,
hit me up on IG, Stoner Sowell 202.
That's a hell of a question. I might gotta. Ooh, that's
if the question I ask you again, just in case you missed it, you was going to the refrigerator real quick. If Tom Brady would have punched Giselle in her face on an elevator on tape, would you still be wearing a number 12 today?
Ooh,
just curious.
Oh, that's a good one. I never even thought about it like that.
Come on,
that's
man.
a valid
from the
point.
outside. We'll pay you all this money as long as you do
optics,
what we say.
Yeah, the optics are it's always fishy, but when you got money involved, you know how
things are different.
Things are always different. But like I said, getting back to the game, this was a great game. You know, Andy Reid trying to get to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs had a great comeback, putting up 24 points in the fourth quarter.
That shit was hot.
Yeah, it was a good game, but what impressed me more was the fact that Belichick was able to hold them to 0 points in the first half, and they hadn't been able to score. No one done that all season.
You can't do that to the Saints.
And Tyreek Hill, the fact that they made him basically disappear, I thought he was going to have a field day. Whatever coverage they use, I haven't had a chance to go back and look at the film and dissect it, but whatever coverage they use, they shut everything down and they brought pressure up different gaps. That's going to be the key with Mahomes, is giving him pressure because he's so athletic and has such a strong arm. He can make any throw from anywhere on the field. So you have to make him uncomfortable. And that whole first half, he was uncomfortable. Second half, they got into a rhythm. They started doing things he liked. They started rolling the pocket, and that changed the whole complexion. So we're definitely going to have an interesting matchup in the Super Bowl, which, as I said, we're going to break down next week because there's a lot of storylines and no telling which way this game is going to go with the refs involved, because it's been controversy all season. So why not be controversy in the most important game of the year in the NFL also? And they're supposed to be the best referees of the crop.
See, what's gonna happen now is they ain't make that call and other call. They ain't make the AFC calls nor the NFC calls. Bad calls in both games. Yep. So they're gonna overcall the Super Bowl.
I hope not, because then that's gonna slow the game down and make it drag out and make it horrible.
We're gonna have dope. We're gonna have a long, nice game. Y'all might as well get Thanksgiving dinner ready. Like
they charging too much for commercials, dude. I think it's now up to $6 million for 30 seconds. Oh man,
that's what I'm talking about.
So
get that money.
They got too much money involved to drag it out. They're gonna have more commercial breaks probably.
That's the part like I watch. Like everybody, we've been watching football for like 16 weeks. I'm here for commercials.
Everybody for the commercials. And now they leak them early, so you don't even have to really wait for the game no more. But that takes all the fun out of it. You want to see which ones come on.
Just sit back, mind your business. Get off the internet.
Yeah, but let's switch topics a little bit. Let's get to some DC sports. Well, ironically, the Wizards are the hottest team in DC right now. Hey. They've won 7 out of 10. They won... Monday over Detroit. 117-81. They and this is without John Wall, without Markieff Morris, Bradley Beal. I've been a tough critic of his. If you tuned into the show, you know that I didn't think that he deserved that max contract. But he's definitely been stepping up, and I just saw a rumor. You heard the rumors about him being shopped in a trade. The Wizards actually came out today and said, no, that is not the deal, but my cousin from another mother, Otto Porter, is apparently on the trade block because he also has a max contract. He's been under the injury bug most of the season. He's came back. He's been playing well. He's been healthy. He isn't back to his regular form, but unfortunately, my cousin might be getting traded, man.
I mean, it was with John. I feel like John Wall played, once again, politics and sports, a very smart move. Y'all can't trade me if I'm injured. Don't nobody want me, bro.
I mean, even with that contract, I know
somebody will pay it. No, somebody will pay it.
You think somebody will pay that contract?
We'll pay it. Somebody will take it.
But see, I don't.
We don't want an injured player. I'll pay the money. Don't give me a beat up player.
Well, I don't really have if it was a choice between Wall and Bill.
You letting Bill go?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I'm letting Bill go.
I know. And that's the giant same thing John Wall thought. That's why he's sitting at Washington Hospital Center right now, probably watching the show. What's up, John? What's good, bro?
I mean, like I said, Bill has been stepping up, but the whole thing that I said, I think the issue is they need a veteran presence in that locker room.
So, do you think they're gonna pick somebody up? It's not too.
I would love for them too. I'm not the true NBA guy. That's my man Robbie. He covers the NBA deeply, so I don't know who's out there.
Okay.
Like I say, I always go back to when Paul Pierce was here. And they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. He wasn't a key role in that, but they definitely. That's what I was about to say. Why? Oh yeah, but his presence in that locker room
because of the veteran presence.
And when he said "shut up and listen," when they was doing that bickering and bullshitting, he probably was like, "Look, y'all, shut up. Look at the ring. Shut up and listen." And they had to. But now you got all of these young, talented guys that they have nobody to point them in the right direction. The coach.
I mean, I'm not going to sit up here in front, right? I ain't been watching the season or whatever like that, but we still have Dwight Howard, right?
And that means
veteran presence. That's what I was.
Okay, I don't even as Dwight Howard. I don't even count him as a center. I
What?
count him as a if you're a center, you have to have some type of low post game.
See, like
Now,
when I think of Dwight Howard, I think of like when he first came in.
Yeah,
like,
and he
young
was
baby Shaq,
high
Dwight
flying
Howard.
and done. But when you Superman up top and you Chicken Little down low and you're
that's
in the
what's
Eastern,
wrong with
he
him.
can't. Yeah, he has no mass down low, so he gets put off the block. And then if he gets frustrated, that little bullshit hook don't work. He's null and void. And then you get him on. Then if they do hack a Howard, then he might make 1 out of 2.
So he is real life Shaq.
He to me, for them getting Howard was them grasping their straws, trying to hush the fan base.
That's what I thought.
That's what it was. That's what I thought it was. And honestly, he hasn't played this year. I don't even know who he will play with the glute injury. And I'm not going to get into the whole scandal behind that because
I might. No, I'm playing.
It's not Sports on the Hill podcast because that's our motto. We do DC Sports, a lot of politics. I forgot this is True Radio on WLVS Radio, so I guess we can talk about that. I've always had the stance, I don't care what a player does in any sport, outside of the court, field, or whatever, as long as they perform on the field.
You crazy.
I could give a damn. When they had the rumors about Clinton Porter supposedly being gay, I didn't give a damn as long as he was still putting up $120 and 2 touchdowns.
Oh no, that don't matter. Like
so
when I talk about character and shit, I talk about like shit you do.
Yeah.
Like legal and illegal. Like fucking Plexico, shooting yourself in the club. Like dumb shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, he should have never got charged. How you gonna get charged for shooting yourself?
Nigga, why you discharging a firearm? Why you got that?
I mean, people do stupid things. I mean, but to get charged and go to jail for shooting yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the shooting yourself in the club is embarrassing enough.
That's how I hear whole this time too, stupid.
Yeah, I mean, these dudes make some crazy decisions, and but like I say, it's politics involved in all of that. And like I say, I've always tried to shine a light on it that you can't expect these athletes to sacrifice their whole youth, have these AAU and college coaches fix everything that they do wrong, getting people to take their tests, throw them money when they need it, and then give them millions of dollars and expect them to walk the straight line all of a sudden. It's not going to happen.
It can. It's more like what you're doing is you're stripping them of responsibility.
And yeah, but it starts at such a young age, just like with the asshat in the White House. He's been white privileged his whole life. So him playing strategy with these 800,000 workers and keeping their money, not getting paid, their pawns in the chess game to him. They mean nothing because he's never been broke. He's detached. He doesn't understand it. Just like these athletes, they don't understand getting in trouble because they've always had a coach say,
catch him.
"Hey, he's about to be the next big thing. Let's sweep this under the rug. He won't do it again. We'll do some community service. Don't report it to the press." And they used to that treatment because they're athletic and they've been getting treated that way since they were 7, 8 years old. And somebody saw them have talent.
They don't know no better.
Exactly. So and that's why like one of my favorite players was Kevin Garnett. When he got drafted into the league at 19 years old, first thing he did was he moved his mama with him. You never heard of him getting in trouble. You never heard of him doing nothing because he had somebody there to make sure he was going in the right direction. These young guys don't have fathers. They don't have and the role models they do have are the hustlers and the drug boys that was kicking the money when mama was, out either strung out or had to work.
You was fucked up.
So it's a vicious cycle. So you can't really, I'm not saying you can't fault them, but they're a victim of their own success because of the greedy corporate America looking for the next big thing to spend that money on so the agents can get their 30%, the endorsements can get their money out of them. So it's a vicious cycle. So when folks, want to shoot down on an athlete and talk bad about it, they're just like us. They just athletic as hell and they make a lot of money, but they make mistakes just like us. They shouldn't get demonized more because they're in the public spotlight. They should be understood.
They shouldn't be demonized more because they're in the public spotlight, but should they be given leeway because they're in the public spotlight?
No, but we know money talks in this country. And you got a good lawyer and you got the money and you can do community service and do some community service events because they know kids like you and stuff. You know the way the system works. I know I've been in the system.
I understand it.
Money talks, and in this country, that's what it is with the whole, like I say, when we get into the political stuff, but this is what this country is. It's not a democracy. It's a capitalist society who the almighty dollar is worth more than a human life now. When you have homeless veterans on the street now sleeping from a war that we should have never been in, but then you got somebody on the GoFundMe page raising money for a wall that we don't need, and they didn't already raise $6 million, but Why we can't raise money for the vets?
So I got a question, right? And it's not the fault the workers, none whatsoever. Y'all federal workers, I feel for y'all so badly, right?
Definitely.
I got a homegirl who
struggle.
fucked up because of this, right? You know what I mean? So I got a question. It's not dogging y'all none whatsoever. They giving y'all free lunches in certain places, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that they're doing this? And I'm not faulting restaurants, no workers. I'm just viewing it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that they're giving you guys free lunches, you know what I'm saying, every day, 7 days, 5 days a week or whatever, and they got homeless people out here who they won't feed? Because
we all know that it's about the optics. They look good doing it. Social media, you get Fox 5 down there to, shoot. I saw a couple of, places to do, but it's a couple of chefs that have done it, through natural disasters and stuff like that. So it's not that they're just doing it now to get pub. You have some people that's doing it out of the goodness of their heart, and that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. But to get ready to wrap up this sports/politics segment, somehow we got wrapped up in.
Yeah, we was doing everything.
Yeah, we just covered the whole gambit of stuff. But just to wrap up, unfortunately, the other DC team that's not doing too well, the Capitals, they're actually playing right now. We were checking the game out. They were up 2-1 over Toronto. I'm not sure what the score is now. Before we went on the air, they were still up. But they're actually on a 6-game losing streak. They're 0-4-2. They just had a horrible loss yesterday in overtime, which they gave up the lead 3 separate times and lost to San Jose 7-6. We broke that down on Monday Night Show also. You can go check out the Facebook Live feed on that. But hopefully this is the last game before the All-Star break. Yeah. They got a week off before they have to go back and play again. I honestly think it's the Stanley Cup hangover. Mostly sometimes it happens at the beginning of the season, but the Caps came out playing good hockey. They had to face with the adversity of having injuries.
They were still hot.
Yeah, they were still hot, and they were still leading the Metro. They're still in second place right now, so there's no reason to hit the panic mode, even though some fans already are, which I've already called out and told them to pump your brakes, like I did last year on our Stanley Cup run at this same time when y'all were doing the same thing. I'm not psychic. I just know a little bit. Mm-hmm. But on that note, we get ready to go on a quick break. Switch up, get the we got Black GOP and ShidaP has finally made it in after their move that they had to make. Like I said, this network is always making moves, so we're interchangeable, man. We make things happen. They had little, business calls, and then the show is coming on next. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we love y'all.
Holla.
Representing. Ayo, I ill like the skin who miss a pill. Try to win, think you will not. They catch a buckshot. I got enough crap since I was a young buck, cause I didn't give a fuck. If I got stuck, I would come back to beat on motherfuckers like a drum track. I keep my specking on the bitches on the scum sack. 1994 is all about the East Coast. Thought the other shit was raw. Well, lick it and get close to the niggas from Brooklyn, Philly to the Berry. Niggas acting illy, bustin' bullets in the flurry. Can't forget the South Bronx, Harlem and Manhattan. Then you go higher where the Dominicans be fattin'. In Jersey is ill town. Knew what they be gattin'. Jersey City and Trenton. Niggas strictly representing for the East Coast, cause I never hear enough of that shit. And I be there cause we the ones who got the fat shit. Bump this in your motherfucking whip if you dare. Even if you think that you can flip, I don't care. You need to take a motherfucking trip over here. But you can have that motherfucking shit in your hair in the jungle. For the jungle. The East Coast jungle. We don't dance in the jungle. If they come around, don't stumble. Jungle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to True Radio. Right here at WLVS Studios, doing our thing. Oh my God, thank you, CP3, for holding it down.
No problem. I'm glad to see you got your tint back because you got light skin with no glasses on earlier. So we
was that light skin?
Yeah, you was light skin without the black GOP hat. You had a transformation. Now you're back.
But it wasn't like soft Drake light skin. It was like regular. Right.
Okay. I'm gonna let Shida answer that one on the Drake like skin.
Guys, we had a special guest on earlier. Thank you for coming through, by the way.
Main man Stoney.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm changing my middle name to Stoney, actually. Let me tell you, last week, speaking of Stoney, we were out front putting a little something up in the sky, and I was so fried when I got back that I stopped by. I already had a big burrito from this place next door that I don't remember the name of.
That wasn't a burrito, dog. That was...
Yeah, it was
like a torpedo.
It was big, Sheeta.
Yeah.
A torpedo.
And,
you know what I think
yeah.
of.
Torpedo. So even though I had this giant burrito, I was so out of my brain that I stopped by 7-Eleven and bought like a whole bunch of like cookies and shit. It was terrible. It was terrible. And then
munchies are real.
Yeah, and I bought in some honey buns today because I was at Giant, right? And they had like these, and I was also drunk at Giant because I'm drunk everywhere.
Yeah.
Right, except for right now for some reason. And they had these cases of honey buns, and they were like 2 for $6. And I'm a honey bun fanatic. So for some reason, in my not sober mind, I only saw 4, and then I get home and it's 8 a pack, right? And do you know what 4 honey buns do to your system when you're 40? So I just brought one into the studio today. I couldn't, yeah.
Well, you done punished the whole 8-pack drunk at my house.
It was terrible. Yes, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Folks. So to get right into it, how you doing tonight, Cheetah?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
Thinking about torpedoes now.
Oh.
Put the mic a little closer to your mouth. CP3, Mr. Torpedo himself. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Got some sports politics off my chest. Now I'm ready to get some real politics off my chest.
Did you guys talk about Nancy Pelosi earlier?
Oh, no, we didn't. We left Skeletor. You know, obviously, Skeletor to you, dog.
She is such soft trash. Look, she was trying to fly out, right? And she was going to go to Afghanistan and like 2 other, and Egypt and some other place. And since her and Donald Trump are having this pissing contest, I think her penis is actually bigger than Donald Trump's.
I think it is also.
So and what happened is Trump bans her from flying. He says, "Well, the government's shut down." And like the ultimate presidential hater move, I've never seen anything like this. He says, "Yeah, you can't fly, but And by the way, let his wife fly the exact same day, which is hilarious.
Went to Mar-a-Lago to his resort for them to make more money and use the Secret Service and spend more of our tax money. But
yeah,
they let her go.
So old Skeletor face Pelosi comes back and says, "Well, you can't do your State of the Union, right? As retaliation, right?" So she's trying to block the president from doing a State of the Union address, which is supposed to be this Tuesday. So it's like WrestleMania coming up on Tuesday. Now, from what I've researched, the president can do it from the Senate. He doesn't have to do it from Congress. He could do it from the Senate or from the White House or from Trump Towers if he wants to. But I think Donald Trump is such an egomaniac. I think he's just going to walk into Congress anyway and say, "I'm the president. What the fuck are you going to do about it?" And we'll see all the fireworks.
And then you're going to hear Jim Ross say, "Bernie Sanders off the top rope with the flying elbow on Donald Trump. We got a melee. It's going to go down, baby. It's going to get sick, man.
Why does Pelosi have a ladder?"
Somebody get the table.
They've already done a hit. I like Kamala Harris, by the way. She's like one of the handful of Democrats I like, right? And we've talked about that, right? So just today, it was released that she had an affair with a mayor of, I think it was the mayor of San Francisco. And she gained political favoritism. You should think about this, Sheeta. Through dating this mayor. So now they're leaking all her dirt, trying to discredit her. And I think a lot of people are trying to say it's coming from the Republican Party. I think the Democratic Party is trying to take her down because she already came in swinging at them. And so I think they're trying to discredit her early in the game to try to calm her down a little. That's what I think. What do you think, Sheeta?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I think that. I think that.
And there you have it.
How about you, Carol? By the way, she is so sexy too. Kamala Harris.
That
And ShidaP.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's not a far-fetched theory, seeing what we saw with Bernie Sanders and the whole thing. But at this point, anybody that comes out now with this Trump follower base, with this finding tweets from 12, 13, 14 years ago about stuff, they're going to look back and be like, she cheated on her 5th grade spelling test. And they're going to find anything to discredit anyone that's going to come up against Trump, because they know that's what he's going to use at his rallies and get his people fired up. So it's not even about politics. Like you always say, the game has changed now. So it might have to come down to a tables, ladders, and chairs match to decide the president, because the way things used to go, actually talking about the topics and actually meaning what you say and not double talking and calling stuff fake news, what can you do?
You can literally campaign for a year about Mexico paying for a wall, right? And then stand there in front of the White House and say, "Oh, well, I never said that Mexico's going to pay for the wall." And I'm sitting there like, "Wait a minute, dude, that's what you said for a whole year straight." He's like, "Well, I didn't mean it like that." I'm like, dude.
But he was always a man that said what was on his mind and always a great negotiator, but he couldn't get Mexico to pay for a wall, and now he's backtracking on being straightforward and a straight shooter. It's some hypocrisy going on up in here.
He's a liar.
Yes. And so I was talking to one of my friends, and I have a lot of liberal friends, believe it or not, right?
Of course.
I have friends on both ends of the spectrum.
You got to.
And he's like, "Oh my God, Trump supporters got to feel so stupid voting for him for the shutdown, and because of the shutdown, he lied about the wall and the Stormy Daniels drama." And I said, "Listen, dude, I know these people, okay? Republicans do not care.
Nope.
They do not care. They will vote for a ham sandwich if it has an R beside it. It doesn't matter."
And an NRA bumper sticker on it.
Yeah, and then, I know people that are furloughed from the government shutdown, and they're sitting there like, "Well, we do need border security," and I'm like, "My man, like you can't even pay your bills right now, but you still believe like that's just how they are."
That's how deep it is, man.
And it's a whole different ball game with them now. Like a Trump supporter is totally different from any other president supporter I've ever seen in my life. Case in point, the little kid with the "Make America Great Again" hat on in front of standing in the face of the Indian dude.
Boy, oh boy.
Who was beating the peace drum. I don't know, whatever.
Let's dissect that a little
Let's
bit.
get on there.
Yeah, let's dissect, because I've been having a lot of social media interactions with the right, and they're trying to change the narrative and switch it up, blame it on the mainstream media. But I'll let you give your stance, and I'll definitely give mine.
It's just the smirk the kid had on his face. The fact that when you see the video, and by the way, everybody's like, "Oh, well, if you see the video, the Indian guy actually approached the kid." I'm like, no. When you stand in front of somebody with that hat on, right, and just smirk at them, and everyone behind you, they were doing like the I don't know if you guys saw the whole video, but they were doing tomahawk chops like to make fun of the Indian, and all these young white kids, and so now they're defending it, and so I come across, I spend about 3-4 hours in the morning watching the news. I'm watching the news, watching clips, reading articles, just for what I do. For my show, True Talk, 8:00 Tuesday night on True Radio Network.
Shameless plug.
Eastern Standard Time. And so, and I'm sitting there, and I see this. Then I see the picture of the same kid getting interviewed, and you would have thought that this was like the most polite child ever. Like it wasn't the smirky
little Timmy
make America great again smirking at the Indian kid. It was this little Timmy. And by the way, they hired a PR firm, right? Because that's what everybody who's innocent does,
Mitch
right?
McConnell.
Wow.
Yeah. And you see this kid sitting there doing the interview, and I was like, I can't even watch this little bastard. I couldn't even watch it. And the media is spinning on, "Oh, we misreported." No, you didn't. You were right the first time. And oh, by the way, there were like 3 black Israelites there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so now
It's the black guys.
Yeah, they're saying, well,
the black guy.
The black Israelites were attacking, they were yelling racial slurs at the white kids, and the Indian tried to break it up. And I was like, where did the story go wrong? If you have, because everyone knows, if you have a "Make America Great Again" hat on, it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And if you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's not like, "Hey, I support Donald Trump." It's like, I'm racist as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what the hat stands for.
And I give no fucks.
Yeah. Your thoughts, ShidaP?
It's all crazy. It is what it is. America's been like that since
ever.
Back in the day, like, you know what I mean?
And you know, to add to that, before we get to CP3, I would say that too. That's one thing I do love about Donald Trump. You may have had an uncle that you've known for 40 years, but you never knew he was racist until Donald Trump became president.
My brother.
Like, he's bringing out the worst in everybody. You're like, holy shit, my neighbor's a Trump supporter? You know, and you never knew, you know?
Nope, not at all.
Your thoughts? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. People that were Trump supporters is funny because, you know, usually they got the sticks in the yard and all that. They didn't even do a lot of that, though.
Oh, because they were
They
getting
just
vandalized.
like sneakily, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just sneaky
boy.
Trump supporters.
All right, my stance. You know, I always look at things differently. It's not even about the narrative and who approached who. The black guy's fault. My issue is with the optics and the hypocrisy of this country. Now, we're getting into the why this and the kid was misunderstood and all of this and that. But I recall a couple of years ago when there was a couple of cops that got killed in Dallas of the Black Lives Matter movement, and the first thing that came out was Black Lives Matter is a terrorist movement. They're killing cops and this and that before anything got reported. On Facebook, some of the Republicans you speak of that I never knew were Trump supporters, you know, that All Lives Matter stuff and all of that crap.
All the Blue Lives Matter guys, too.
All of them. And, you know, they was out there chiming in. But when the narrative was changed and the truth came out, I didn't hear one retraction. I didn't see one, you know, thing saying it wasn't Black Lives Matter fault. So my question to them, if it was a young black kid with a Black Lives Matter hoodie on standing in front of a World War II vet at a ceremony to honor their veterans, would we be wondering, you know, what was misunderstood? No, he would be a thug and he, you know, disrespected the military. He's anti-American, all this and that. So if we're going to get into the optics of it, let's get to the real nitty gritty of it. This country has been racist and prejudiced since the founding of it. It's based off of using minorities to build this country up. Well, white people that didn't want to work then, that's using minorities to blame now because they don't want to work. And then you victimize them, demonize them, throw them in jail. And then when things don't go your way, you file bankruptcy and play victim and ride off into the sunset, which is the epitome of Donald Trump, which is why I'm not mad at him, because he's just a representation of what this country truly is. And now that the flashlight is shining in everybody's face, they don't know what to do because America the Great is the greatest lie ever told.
That's a smart street nigga right there, boy.
that was deep.
I be sitting at home thinking sometimes, you
That
know.
was deep.
I'm trying to go deep, Shida. What's
No.
all right.
No.
All right.
No, America. We don't know what Black GOP is talking about.
Yeah.
We do not know.
You know, moving on, one more thing in politics. I don't know if you guys heard or saw or read, but it turns out, you know, one of Joe Biden's sons, you know, passed away of, I believe it was cancer. Yeah. Right. But it turns out, this is why he didn't run in 2016. But it turns out it was just released Saturday, ironically, right after Nancy Pelosi didn't take the Trump deal. Trump wanted to strike some kind of deal to open the government. Pelosi said no. I shit you not. 2 hours later, it's leaked out that Joe Biden's other son was sleeping with the wife of his dead brother. Okay. Wait, what? Yes. This. You can Google it right now. Google it right now.
Spicy.
Yep. It was leaked out 2 hours after Pelosi said no to the deal. So they're already trying to discredit Joe Biden. I believe that leak came from the Republicans, obviously.
I mean,
you know. So it also they also leaked out that he was discharged from the Navy, the same kid, Joe Biden's son, for having cocaine in his system. And his wife divorced him because of the affair with the dead brother's wife. And he spent a lot of their money on prostitutes and drugs and stuff after he got out of the Navy.
But what's crazy is the asshat chief has done those same things and they don't care.
Yeah, true. I know it's absolutely true.
That's
you know
the funny thing about it. They're going to use that against him, but when it's their man, oh no, that's different. He wasn't in office when he did.
Exactly.
Oh no,
yep.
It's hilarious how they conform their whole mindset due to is who looks like them in the White House now because of the 8 years of oppression they faced under Obama.
Yeah. So now here's my problem with Biden, because it's kind of like when Trump ran against Hillary, right? And Hillary was like women's rights and all this stuff. You know, she was trying to, you know, get at Trump for his dirty history.
Yeah.
And all Trump had to do with that one debate was have Monica Lewinsky, Paula Jones, and the other women that Bill allegedly abused, and just had him in the audience. And you see how stiff Bill was. Bill Clinton was just like, I'm not looking anywhere. Like, I'm not looking to the left. I'm just going to statue it up. So now.
He always looked down.
So now.
Yeah, I smashed her. She sucked me off. I smashed her.
So now, if Biden does get the nomination, which I think they're trying to give to him, but they might change their mind based off the new information. That just rhymed, by the way, freestyle. But if Biden does get the nomination, so now if Biden says, "Oh, well, you're a womanizer," and Trump could be like, "Just like your son is," and it's even.
I actually saw that the Democrat from Iowa, I forgot his name, the one that made the run for the DNC chair last year that they shot down. They said that they're looking at him actually maybe being Biden's running mate.
Well, we'll see.
He's one of the newer progressive Democrats, so that'd be interesting if they team them together. I don't know. It's too early.
Trump's going to win again, Carol.
Shut up, man.
We're not
going to get into that nightmare
America
yet, man.
Trump.
We're not going to get into that nightmare yet, man. I'm hoping and praying.
Nope.
America loves Trump.
They do.
Unfortunately.
They really do.
And always remember 30% of Democratic males, older white men, voted for Trump over Hillary. Never forget that. And anyone can look that up. So last thing before we get to ShidaP and some celebrity gossip, just remember, folks, you can't spell the word Pelosi without the letter L. Thank you. I made that up like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I seen that.
I put it on my page. Nobody touched it. I was like, that's what I thought. Yeah, because that bitch got grounded.
It's sick. It's sick, the pandering going back and forth between these two. It's sick. And it's like two kids in preschool and nobody want to give up the crayon.
Because for me, Trump wants $5.7 billion, okay? And at this point, and I know Pelosi and spineless Schumer don't want to break, right?
Schumer actually went hard the other day. He actually looked into the camera and sounded kind of forceful the other day. I was like, okay, he got a little bit of a spine.
You probably watches the show.
Maybe.
Why not meet Trump at the event and say, look, dude, we'll give you 3.7. You take care of the dreamers, and we'll work the rest out. You can't have a no attitude in dealing with a guy like Trump. That's just the way I look at it.
It's a sticky situation.
And it's 3.7, 5.7 bill in the scope of things. How much is it to build one bomb? They can make it work. I don't know.
Man,
I can negotiate it.
They could.
I mean, it's kind of like a slippery slope because the Democrats right now with the DACA thing is still in the court, so they really can't make any moves on that. So I think the way they're thinking is, let's play hardball like he does, at least while it's still in the courts, when let him, try to finagle that. And as what's been happening with Ann Coulter and some of the other strong right, they've been firing back at Trump saying, well, whoa. We want the wall. You aren't supposed to be giving in on none of this. Mm-hmm. So now they got a little bit of infighting going in the already muddled Republican Party, which maybe they're taking a playbook out of Trump's playbook and maybe trying to stir the nest a little bit. That's just, hopeful thinking of the Democratic Party. I can't say that they're actually thinking that, but I'm hoping that's where they're going.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody has more infighting than the Democratic Party.
Yeah, unfortunately,
nobody. I've never seen anything like it.
I have. Certain black people.
They still haven't repaired relations with the millennials. The Bernie Bros are still pissed off. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They still are pissed off.
They have not. They have not repaired it. No one comes out and says, "Hey, millennials, we fucked you guys over. Get back on board. Let's make this work. Here's a younger candidate. Let's get some fresh blood in here." But they don't care.
I mean, but they're millennials, so all they're gonna do is go smoke a vape and go put on some skinny jeans and listen to some Taylor Swift, and they're gonna be content. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to appeal to them when they have that mentality of we don't care until we want to care, and then we care, then we're going to be, vigilant and fight for it. You can't turn the switch on and off. If you're going to be down, you got to be down the whole time. And I think that's where some of the disconnect is, that they only get into it when it actually affects them. If it doesn't affect, kind of like the right, if it doesn't affect them, it's all well and good. But as soon as your mocha latte gets upcharged because of the whatever, then you want to ride out and ride and protest. But you don't think about your fellow man and whatever they're going through because you're stuck in your little millennial bubble.
Just like we're riding out right here on WLVS Radio. Boom. You see how I did that?
Yes, sir.
ShidaP. What's going on in the celebrity world, son?
Well, I guess I'll say this one real fast. Cardi B and Offset, she wants to go back home. She FaceTime her and the babe.
Really?
Culture and Offset, and she wants to go back home. They've been FaceTiming and all that. So
FaceTime.
sounds like a publicity stunt, you know.
So 2.5, what was it, about 3 months from the breakup to the
Yeah,
get back together.
till now.
And did his album drop yet?
I don't know.
'Cause I know that was a word that's supposed to have been dropping soon. That's
I
why they
don't
were
think
going-
so. It would have been.
Well, that's probably why they're getting back
I
together.
don't look at me about
Well, I hope I don't say nothing wrong,
I
Offset.
could tell you,
but
but
you
new
know,
Kanye joint comes out, but I don't know Offset. I just
Well,
don't.
they probably gonna wait to break back up again when it's ready to drop. You must have had a hiccup in the studio or something.
I am such a big fan of Cardi B. I love her.
I do too.
And it's not really. It's on. I only like probably like 2 or 3 songs of hers, but just her character is really the way she be like, yeah, bitch. You know what I mean? I feel like
it's outstanding.
yeah, I feel like she's natural. She doesn't try to be reserved with it. Like, you know how if you get like let's take like a Whitney Houston or somebody else in the entertainment industry, they try to be like, hello everybody, thank you so much. Cardi B like, yeah, bitch, I won this motherfucking award. You know what I'm saying? I just love the way she's just her. I love that. I love it.
Cardi B's video about the wall?
I did.
We're not going to speak about that.
It was.
She's getting political.
Yeah, that's gonna be Carol's next president.
They're gonna
As
vote
I
for
said
Cardi
on-
B,
as
the
I said
nation.
on that post, the only video I would look at her talking politics is if I was in it, we was making money off of it.
There it is.
That's about it.
What else is going on, ShidaP?
Well, we have 2 rapists on the loose.
All right.
Damn it, Joe.
Well, not really on the loose, but okay, Nelly. This is like his second time.
I
Yeah.
didn't know about Nelly.
Nelly.
Wow.
First, it was like maybe a year or so ago. Some girl was on a tour bus. Blah blah
I think
blah
I did
blah.
hear a little bit about that. Yeah.
But he got a new one.
Oh Lord.
So now he's battling that, and I'm starting to wonder, Nelly, what's going on, bro?
Guess it's
Like,
getting hot
are
in
you know what I mean?
Well, and according to
Yes,
And,
he can rape me.
of course,
Oh wow.
And Nelly, you can rape me. I promise I won't tell.
where can I find a Nelly mask? Do they
you
sell?
gotta- Hey, all you gotta do is put a Band-Aid under your right eye,
she
bro.
she threw the jacket open too and everything. Jesus, she
Put a gold front and
It's
put a Band-Aid
getting
under the right
hot.
eye, man.
if you notice, according to the media of late, like only black men for some reason are the only men committing sexual crimes out here. It's really getting annoying, dude. It is. I'm just, it was like started with Bill Cosby, and they're like, okay, we got Bill. Who else can we get? Who
R.
else can we
Kelly.
get? Yeah, R.
Let's get
Kelly.
R. Kelly. Let's go after Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sheeta, I'll let you get it. I didn't even steal your thunder
no,
on
no,
that one.
no. Shoo. Same thing. And it was a model. That's kind of scary. But
And you know what's funny? He
So-
was detained, but they let him go because the allegations were false. But then they found cocaine in his hotel room.
Oh, see.
Come on, Chris Breezy.
I've actually, I was at home before the show checking out TMZ. I don't know why I was.
Come on, Carol
But-
watches too much.
TMZ.
The Caps wasn't on yet, so it was some chill time before the Caps pregame. So I just found myself watching TMZ. They were talking about the Chris Brown incident, and they were saying that from what I surmise, the female story that she told does not match match up with anything that happened. Apparently, Chris Brown's girlfriend was in the hotel room the whole time. There were over 20 people in the room, and the 20-30 minutes that he supposedly took her into the bathroom, he was in the room listening to Chris Brown music on his cell phone while she was supposed to be getting, brutally raped, as her words exactly.
Brutally.
And then
Oh, yeah.
the ironic fact is they gave him his passport back and told him he was free to go. And a guilty man would leave the country and roll out. He's still over there shooting a video, doing his thing. And with him going to the next step of actually talking about suing the young lady for defamation of character, and some celebrities are actually getting behind him. T.I. actually came out and spoke out and said that that's what needs to get done, because now with the accusation, it's no longer innocent till proven guilty, and stuff has to be done to let these folks know that if it's real, okay, cool. But if you're just coming out to get celebrity or to get money, we're going to prosecute you to the fullest extent, just like with the Reuben Foster incident with the Redskins player, which I spoke on and which everyone demonized him before the facts came out. And I went on the record first and told people to wait. And when the truth came out, did you hear one peep from DC Sports Media? No. All right, back to the subject.
Sorry.
I'm calling them out, baby.
Hey.
This year, I'm calling them out because I'm tired of the status quo of this BS sports media entertainment industry that we're in. It's
Yeah.
time for a change, and that's what True Radio on WLVS Radio was all about, baby.
You know, and that's the thing, and even though and that's what I hate about these accusations because they could be 100% wrong, but once you say Chris Brown, people are automatically going to think rape.
Yep.
And
No
think hitting and violence.
Yeah, no matter how, you know what I mean, it's proven wrong, but it's out in the air now.
He's
you know?
always going to be a womanizer.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, but he's been walking this straight now, and then ironically, he just gets all the rights to his music and copyright stuff, and then what happens?
Take
2
him
weeks
down.
later? 2
Take
weeks
him
later,
down.
he's accused of rape in a French hotel.
And has cocaine in his
And-
room.
oh,
As soon
has-
as he gets released, it's like, oh, by the way, dude, I think we found cocaine in your hotel room too.
Just like they found weed in the innocent guy that got killed by the cop, and that was his fault.
Oh man, it's
They still
ridiculous.
haven't. I think they indicted her, but they still haven't really went.
They
further.
need to because a lot of these rappers, and I'm glad they're getting more business, handling their business about it. Because a lot of these models, be getting away with
They gonna have
stuff
to get
that I can't even understand. But come on,
They're gonna have to get the constant contract like Dave Chappelle did the skit years ago. He was not playing. He's sometimes still the future. They're gonna have to get these females to sign something to say it was consensual. Do
Yeah.
a video or something, or send them a text like check 1 for yes, 2 for no if this was consensual, because they can get mad or change up their mind and come back 4 or 5 years later with a picture. Yeah, we was in the room and I didn't want to say nothing then because
Yeah, and that's the thing about this Me Too era. And while I support women's rights, and
Most
trust me,
definitely.
and we actually I spent all of last year rolling out shows for women by women. It was called the True Renaissance for the record, people. So I'm on, trust me, right? And so, but the problem is, if you think about this, Carol, anybody that once we get famous, which will probably in the next 6 months or so.
halfway there.
Yeah, almost.
No
there.
doubt.
So, but once you get famous, anybody you smoked weed or got drunk with and smashed from your whole life can come out and say, hey, Black GOP brought a bottle over. I was drunk. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think he took advantage of me. And it's it sticks. Even if it's not true, it sticks. So that's the other half. I don't like the fact that part of the Me Too era is being used as a weapon. Just part of it, not like the whole era. I'm not one of those guys I hate women, they shouldn't be. No, I'm not one of those guys.
I mean, honestly, I can't say I saw this coming, but through the culture of this country, women are second-class citizens. They've been used, throughout history. They've been abused, raped, kidnapped, and they have to make a stand. Unfortunately, like you say, this Me Too movement is, sometimes goes in the wrong direction, and I see where it's coming from because it's sickening. I was raised in a house with 4 women. I have mostly women in my family, so to see some of the stuff they go through and see some of the stuff that they have to deal with is something has to be done. I work in a home improvement store, and they have female employees, and some of the contractors, some of the looks and things they say to these females, I feel like I need to go take a shower because I'm like, wow, really? That's how you're gonna go? Oh, okay. That's one way to do it.
Yeah. Well, folks, we're about to wind down and get up out of here. This is Black GOP heading out. Thank you for checking us out here on WLVS Radio. ShidaP, where can they find you?
Everywhere. Google me, Bing me, Facebook, Instagram, ShidaPope, everywhere. Same thing. This is 50. Hip Hop Weekly, everywhere.
It's gonna be her last name's gonna be Terrell.
Everywhere.
Her last name's gonna be Terrell in a couple months, folks. That's my real last name.
Shout out to the Coke Boys. What up, French? What up, Droop? What up, Cheese?
CP3,
What up, Brock?
CP3, close us out, bro.
CP3, Carol Porter III. You can catch me on Facebook. You can catch me on Sports on the Hill podcast every Monday and every other Thursday night on True Radio Network. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday night for our Super Bowl preview show. We'll have some special guests coming in. Myself, DC People's Champ, talking some breaking down the Super Bowl. So make sure you tune in. We'll be doing a preview Monday night on Sports on the Hill podcast. Check me out. You can Google me, hashtag CP3. I'm everywhere. I do beats. I do make videos, commercials. Holla at me. True Radio Network, and we out.